How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of a collab time. Two breweries. Kind of surprising collab, to be perfectly honest with you. I've never really thought about, really, Alesmith collabing with Maui Brewing. I don't know why. I mean, you can collab with anybody, but something about it just kind of surprised me. And that is their Hoaloha, I believe. I'm butchering this. I'm worst at words. And this is just a pale ale with rice and galaxy hops. Super interesting stuff. So yeah, I mean, you're talking about Alesmith and Maui. They're kind of two of the kind of old guard when it comes to beer, of the new school old guard. And to see them do a collab is pretty cool. It makes sense, you know, with Alesmith being out there on the West Coast and Maui being out there in Hawaii. So yeah, kind of excited to give it a whirl. Yeah, this comes courtesy of Tyler. Thank you very much, brother. He sent this off to me with a whole box of deliciousness. And let's see what she has going on here. It says, thanks to our Hoaloha, our friends at Maui Brewing, for providing the island inspiration. This collaboration, we brewed a hobby pale ale with authentic Kashihirikari, I believe it is, rice along with fruit-forward galaxy hops, resulting in a tropical bounty of passion fruit, citrus, and mango flavors. When our beloved friends at Maui help us brew, you can taste the spirit of aloha. Cheers. 5.3% alcohol by volume. Done and done. Wise, it leaves a little bit to be desired, to be perfectly honest with you. The artwork just doesn't do it for me. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, she's all right. You know, as long as the beer is good, that's all that matters. So yeah, I can't tell you the last time I had a Maui beer, legitimately. Last time I had an actual Alesmith beer had to be one of their Speedways or Speedway variants. Most likely on draft. There's a place by me that gets them on draft all the time, so every now and then I'll pop in and give them a whirl. So we'll see what's what. You're talking about 5.3%, not a huge beer. And she looks old school. I mean, when you think of these kind of breweries, you think a little bit of old school. And that's kind of how this beer looks. Big white, just off white rocky kind of head to her. But it's almost super clear. It's a little bit of subtle haze to it, but that's pretty much it. So for the most part, it looks like an old school IPA. We talk about a rice-based beer, you're almost going to get exclusively clear stuff off of that. So it kind of makes sense when you talk about it. Let's get a nose. I mean, it smells old school as old school could be. Old school East Coast IPA. Big citrus notes, but it's coming off rindy. It's not coming off super juicy or fleshy. It's a little bit more kind of rindy, what you'd expect from an old school kind of IPA. I mean, this is just about 3 months old, so, you know, I mean, this is the kind of beer that's going to hold up over time, a non-hazy, so it's not super old, but it's not super fresh. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. There's maybe the ever so slightest bit of, like, cream corn vibe on it, so there might be a little bit of dimethyl sulfide in it, but it's not off-putting, so you just get the soft citrus component, not really much of a malt bill, a little bit of soft generic sweetness, which I think is what they're going with, especially when you're using you're not trying to impart a big portion of malt, so let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, bittering. Bittering citrus. You do get a little bit of that soft cream corn, a little bit of DMS kind of floating around in there. Nothing too crazy, but it's definitely apparent. Drinkable, chuggable, thin. It doesn't come off as a huge hefty beer. I don't think it's supposed to be. I think this is supposed to be a beach chugger, and it kind of works in that sense. I think it's just a skosh too heavy on the bittering for me. I like bittering in my IPAs. I'm not one of those people that just fawns over, drop out all bitterness beers. Even though I do like them, I do like a nice balance to it. With this, there's just a slight kind of imbalance between how much bittering and sweetness you're getting, to where it ends up being just skosh, combined with the mouthfeel and everything like that. Skosh too bitter, but it's not a bad beer. Like I said, it has a slight DMS thing, very gentle going on. It's easy to pick out because of how tiny and light this beer is. It's not off-putting. It's not a beer ruiner, let's put it that way, but it's definitely there. And it's a fine beer. And honestly, this is like preconceived notion shit, and it's not like I should really not go into beers thinking this way, but it's kind of what I would expect from Maui Brewing, and a little bit of what I expect from Alesmith. And when you're talking about a collab, it kind of makes sense. Now, you're talking about getting those galaxy hops, and you're talking about pale ale, and you're talking about rice, so it kind of makes sense. It's definitely kind of old school in vibe and old school in execution. And I think it's a beach beer. It's kind of what it wants to be, and it's definitely what it is. But I just do like my beers to skew a little bit new school, especially when it comes to the hoppy variety. And while this one's fine, and there's a little bit of technical kind of staffoos floating around it, it's not a bad beer at all. Let's put it this way. If I was at a beach and I had a whole mess of just regular shelfies, I assume this is a shelfie. I mean, it's Alesmith, Maui, and somebody from the East Coast sent it to me, so I'm almost guaranteeing it's shelfie. It's not a bad beach crusher. Let's put it that way. Tasty, fine, even with a little bit of flaws, it still works. Old school, at every square inch of it, done and done. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better pale ales I've had as of late. Definitely on the outside looking in for me, but at the same time, I do enjoy it. Value and availability, no idea. It's a Maui and Alesmith. This shouldn't come as too big of a crazy price point, and leave you with if you like what we like. Just if you like old school pales and IPAs, this is going to do you proper. It's going to give you those old school kind of citrus vibes, while at the same time, give you a beach crusher, and that doesn't suck. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little beer right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.